Russ, there's 1,800 CIO members of CHIME, and that gives you a pretty good broad spectrum view of what's happening in the industry. What do you think a CIO today really needs to focus on to be successful as we go forward?
I think we've left this era, not that we don't have to make sure it happens, we've left this era of even technical excellence. I think there's just expectation that they do that. What's emerging is what we call the CIO 3.0 leader, and they're the ones trying to help organizations change and transform. It really comes out of all these great, big, monumentally large, expensive investments we're making. How do we create value and change for our organizations? And I think that is a struggle for some that definitely don't focus day to day on the organizational change. They're really focusing on technology. So the big thing for our CIOs right now are building up the skill sets of being an organizational leader, being the ones driving value and actually positioning, if not driving their organization to a new front. I think that's a fairly significant change, and we call it the 3.0 leader, but it's actually true of almost all the C-suite. We need CFO 3.0s, and we need CMO 3.0s. CIO in particular, now that they see the entire organization from a technology perspective, are really going to have to focus on that change. Now, tactically, there are some things that definitely keep our members up every single night. Security seems to be an area of a little bit of importance right now, where even just a few years ago, security was something we kind of kept in the back room and they made sure some stuff happened. Now all of a sudden, security's on the paper every single day. No one wants to be on the front line of the USA Today for another breach, another vulnerability, being held hostage. So CIOs are scrambling, they're planning, they're working where appropriate as far as they can to protect their organizations. So security is truly an area of significance for them right now to focus on. And I think finally is really understanding what it takes in an organization to be integrated into whatever's appropriate for that organization. For a small hospital, how do you integrate with the patient population in your local community? For a large health system, IDN like Intermountain, how do you start figuring out how to not only connect and coordinate huge geographic regions, sometimes with very little population, but your job is to coordinate that population and get them where they need to be. And then some really big organizations are trying to figure out how to do this over 10, 15, 25, 30 states that they operate in on a scale they've never had to before, and coordinate all that care, all that information, so it's meaningful for their organizations. These are all new things we haven't had to do in the past because we used to just worry about episodic care.